We're going to continue on that disruption theme with our next presenter. He's disrupting the world of mobile phones by using community support. But before it could become as successful as it is today, Giffgaff had to overcome the loss of its previous hosting provider. Giffgaff solved the challenge of migrating its entire business with the help of Rackspace Managed Cloud. And here's a video with more on Giffgaff.
We were told out of the blue completely our current service provider had gone into administration. What Giffgaff needed was a quick, secure, hosted environment to save our business. What I got from Rackspace was a clear, consistent, calm plan to deliver that hosting environment in a really quick time. It was really reassuring to get the conversation with Rackspace and that they were on board immediately. We've received excellent support. Their service, their quality, their expertise, their attention to detail, the cultural fit that Rackspace had with Giffgaff has been excellent. If we hadn't had the great support from Rackspace, I don't believe Giffgaff would be here as a business today.
Please welcome the COO of Giffgaff, Nigel Sudell. Nigel, thank you.
Cheers. Good morning, or should I say good afternoon. I am aware I'm between you and your lunch, so I will try and keep this interesting to you and reasonably short. Okay, so for those of you who don't know about Giffgaff, we're a mobile operator. We run on the O2 network. We're a mobile virtual network operator, actually. So we provide airtime and minutes in the mobile business. We're disruptive. We're social. We were a startup back at the end of 2009. So our idea to disrupt the mobile world was to use some of the social and Web 2.0 technologies that were coming out at that time and to combine them with a community that runs our business. We call our customers members rather than customers. And I'll come on to a little bit more as to what they do for us. But I think every new service, every challenger brand, every challenger service needs an idea, a belief. And for our idea in the mobile world was back in 2009, we felt it was broken. If you went out and looked at it, there were over 1 million different tariffs you could go and buy with SIMs and phones. That's ridiculous. Huge amount of complexity. Customer service was poor. Advocacy was poor. So we realized we took this opportunity to think that there was a different way you could do business. And what I want to leave you with a little bit through this is that the way we took that disruption to mobile may well be really important how you might make your businesses grow going forward as well. Some of the tools we used, some of the insight we used is not just relevant to mobile, but relevant across a lot of different service industries. You want to understand your customers and members. You want to give them the best service that you can probably give them. You want to give them the best price you can give them. And some of the techniques and tools I've got here allow us to provide a better service at a lower price. Sounds great. About 2009, the iPhone was growing significantly, and we changed in a world where mobile providers went from 12-month contracts to 24-month contracts. You were tied in for 24 months, which isn't great if you drop your iPhone the third day after you got it and broke it. Nice slided back. They're going on really well across tables and off the end. But you're tied in for 24 months. So the idea that Giffgaff came up with, a guy called Gav Thompson, came up with this on a flight back from San Francisco, actually, after being over there at a conference, a Web 2.0 conference, was a challenger brand within the mobile world. Giffgaff is an old Scottish word, meaning mutuality, whereby Giffgaff as a business give our members something, they give us something back. They provide the first-line support for member queries. They pass our SIMs out and get their friends to connect. They're involved in our social ads and TV. So I think we put an ad out last Friday night. Some of the people in that ad are our members. They're our customers, if you like. We don't pay them to come along. They come along, they see themselves on TV. Our posters include our members. Our social channels, Twitter, Facebook, etc. You'll find our members on there as much as you'll find us. We want it to be a great deal, because actually everyone wants a best price. We can do that by getting our members to help in channel, getting our members to help in service, save that cost, and everyone gets a better deal. Now, years ago, you couldn't do that. But the technologies that we have now in terms of web, in terms of digital, in terms of cloud, big data coming along, allow us to provide a business where we are purely online. And whilst that is brilliant for us in terms of cost perspective, I'll come to a little bit in a minute as to an Achilles heel. The picture here is on the left here is the notebook that Gav wrote on the back on the way back on his plane. And some of those ideas really, as in essence, come through and really live in our business still today. We give our members payback twice a year, May and just before Christmas, so they can buy some presents. But they can choose to rebate that money to charity if they want. We are simple. We have 6 or 7 tariffs. That's it. We are online only. You'll only find us online. So we don't have retail stores to pay for. We don't have a contact center that you can call. All our contacts are online. So those costs that we save go back into the business and provide a better deal. I think you've heard a little bit today, pardon me, and certainly from Simon just then about culture and culture with Rackspace. We started Giffgaff with a startup mentality. It was outside O2, completely different business. That's people who want to get on, who want a challenge, who've got expertise in certain areas and want to absolutely give it all and give it a new effort within the mobile industry. So we had that startup. And again, the tools that we use, the cloud services, the spin-up, etc., DevOps that we're now coming to, those were doing great then, allow us to build that startup mentality. Talked about it earlier about credit card and you're off, provided you've got a good idea. To repeat, our members really, we treat them as the heart of our business. We talk to them every day, be that through social channels, be that through emails, be that through face-to-face meetings. Their ideas run our business. They run our business. Without them, we wouldn't be able to achieve the business that we run. Help and support. Every business needs some sort of support. Customers get in trouble, don't know what they're doing what they're doing, can't do it. If you come to our website, as I said, you can't contact Giffgaff, you can't call us, but you come to our website and try and raise a query, you'll raise that into our community business. Our community will answer 97% of our contacts and queries within 90 seconds. So no hanging around, no press 1 and wait till you get through to a call center in India to get through to somebody else who can't answer your question. The way it's built also means that our members receive kudos for the best answers, so you can automatically choose the best answer that someone else asked over and over. Because guess what? The question you're asking is generally going to be something that's asked before. But to do that, we also need scale up, scale down. But it provides better service. It provides a cheaper service. Our contact rate for our members is once every 5 years. So each of our members on the consumer world contacts us once every 5 years. That's a phenomenal amount of saving that you can make across certainly the mobile business in terms of benchmarks. One of our members has been helping online for 1 million minutes. Who's doing that in the head? Is how many hours, days, weeks? Best part of 2 years online. Phenomenal. We didn't think it'd work either, all right? We sat there before launching saying, is this really going to work? Are there enough people out there in the world who want to engage in a community to help other people? Well, the answer is yes. We had people within the first few hours of launching at midnight, driving up and down the M4 saying, yeah, don't know what this business is, but they've got coverage, it works. We had people reading the T's and C's through to 3 o'clock in the morning saying, I've now read them, I'm ready to answer the questions. There is such a great amount of resource out there built in an online world. We engage with our members. We talk to them about new ideas. We've had thousands of ideas from them. We've managed to implement a significant amount of that. That might be small ideas about how the website works, how the experience works. Might be much bigger ideas about launching BlackBerry or new phones or handsets or something else. But it's important to us, and we did it for the first couple of years. We, as a management team, as a board, we read every single idea that came through. Once a week, went through every single idea. Now we've put some boundaries on it and it needs to get to a certain amount, and then we'll read them all. And we'll feed back on that. And those ideas that we don't understand or could be made better, we put back into the community. Isn't it great to share and build on other people's ideas? That starts to break down the barriers between consumers and a business. They're no longer quite so segmented. We're using our members' ideas, we're engaging with them, and guess what? As you engage more with them, their advocacy grows. They talk to more people about it. And our costs as a business model from a marketing perspective go down. And guess what? That means we can serve them better prices. Who doesn't want more engaged customers? Who doesn't want to know what's going on? And some of those social tools that we've managed to build into the infrastructure allow us to communicate with our members immediately. How hard is it for people in other businesses to understand what their customers are really doing? We get that feedback immediately every day, whether we like it or not. And there's another side to this in terms of service. You've got to be on your ball. You've got to use those channels. You've got to talk to them. Everyone has issues. And when your site's down and your network's down, you've got to be on those channels talking to them, letting them know what's going on. We let them choose the prices. Yeah, we let them choose the prices that they're going to pay. We consulted on them, with them. We set the market out. We looked at who other prices were there, what other competitors were there, and we asked them, what do you want? Do you want price per minute? Do you want bundles? Do you want goodie bags? What prices? How many? At one point, a couple of years ago, we actually put our prices up. We had to. You know, things get more expensive, apart from Rackspace, obviously. They went up. But we managed to maintain that community engagement so that the engagement at the end of that was positive. Who else can say they put the prices up and the customers were happy about it? But by engaging and telling them that story, gives them great insight into your business, and they're part of that. Helps individual members as well. We offer a member-get-member scheme. So every time you pass out a Giffgaff SIM to a friend of yours, they activate that SIM, might be friends, family, whatever else. You get 500 points in payback. Twice a year, you can convert that for cash. We paid one of our members £18,000. It's quite a chunk of money. Allowed him to go to university, pay his university fees for a couple of years. If you divide that by 5, you'll figure out how many members he brought on for us. Now, how much would I have to pay for channels or marketing to get that many customers? It's a lot more than that. You might as well put a couple more zeros on the end of it. That's part of the mutuality as to why Giffgaff works and why we're doing well. I first came across NPS as part of Giffgaff, but the first supplier I came across NPS with was Rackspace. NPS is really important. In our business, NPS, we track it every day, every interaction with our members. And we know that as our NPS goes up and down, the number of members that our members will bring on, that advocacy goes up and down as well. Direct tracking to it. Rackspace's NPS, their focus on what their customers want, how much you would recommend them to somebody else. Really important in the business as well. Word of mouth, trust. If your friend recommends someone, or your business colleague recommends someone, and I'm really careful about who I recommend, you're putting your name to it. That's what this is. So from a Giffgaff perspective, it works. It's great. These are the Which Awards last year. We've been shortlisted for them again this year. There are some popular names up there, O2, 3, EE, Giffgaff at the top of the mobile section, which is brilliant. And that's a combination of service, price, bit of coverage, but we don't build the network, so I can't claim too much on that. But from a business model, it shows it works. Brilliant for where we are, and I can sit here and say that's great. It wasn't always like that. We had a really critical moment, and which is why all of Giffgaff actually owes Rackspace. It's an online business, okay? So I don't have any channel, I don't have any retail. Everything is my website, which in some ways from a cheap perspective or running or operation is great, but from a resilience perspective, what happens if that goes down? Stops the business dead in its tracks. So we had great potential. We had momentum. We were going well. We like that. Every business runs on some level of risk. You know this, right? One server, well, I better have 2. Right? Some resilience. One site, we better have 2. What happens to the other one? One service provider or one hosting environment. How many of you have got 2 running the same thing? Not many. Some, I'm sure. Okay? So what happens when your hosting provider goes pop? What happens when you're a hosting provider? You get a call at 9:30 one Tuesday morning saying your hosting provider is now in administration. All your data, your customer data, your service, your web services, everything else is locked down. 4 hours later, 35% of that business staff are laid off and taken off premises. That was where I was, and that was where Giffgaff was. Not feeling particularly happy at that point. From the start of business, you've grown it for 3 or 4 years, you've seen the sweat and blood that's been put into it, and you're sitting there feeling fairly helpless. What can you do? So I remember a phone call I made 5 minutes later to Rackspace. You saw a little bit of the clip there, my reaction. We needed to get Rackspace up and running. At that point, we were running some of our stuff with Rackspace, you see at the top. So the back office functions, data warehouse, campaign management, things like that. But our true service providing, taking money, activating SIMs, all right, the SIMs will still work. They're only going to work for a day or so until everyone runs out of credit. And I can't take any money on new customers. So I'm at that point where it's running, and the other service providers there with BT ready to pull out a link, or Southern Electric ready to get their money back as well. I made a call to Rackspace, and that's why Giffgaff owe Rackspace big time. Let's see, let's just go back a bit. In the 3.5 weeks, we managed to build a new data center. Bear in mind that the current data center that we're running I've got nothing in there that no one I can talk to, no design documentation I can prove, no one I can use for support. That is just locked down. In 3.5 weeks, with Rackspace's expertise, I'm also a startup. I've got a very limited amount of IT expertise in my team. I do mobile, I don't do IT. In 3.5 weeks, we managed to build a new data center, test the migration plan, get it up and running, go to 2E2, break in, nick our data back, drive down the M4 with the hard drive, plug it into Slough, bring it back up the next morning at 6 o'clock, so it was 10 till 6, with no issues at all. No, I didn't design that, I didn't run it. I'm just there like giving pizza and beers to people to make sure they're still working. Yeah. That includes a commercial agreement with Rackspace as well, which I wasn't screwed over with. And they're going, yeah, I haven't got a website. How much? No more money. I think it was £2,000 extra to work the weekend, that was it. Yeah, phenomenal. The expertise that Rackspace brought, the calmness, the planning, the quality, the assurance. Giffgaff wouldn't be in business now. All right, Giffgaff is unlikely to be in business now if we hadn't had that expertise over that time. I could have run without the website. My CFO and I had a plan. It would have cost us about 25 million quid for 4 weeks if it had gone down. And then we may have lost a load of customers, and we would never have recovered. So we were absolutely rescued by Rackspace. The individuals, and some of them are here today, actually. I've caught up with a couple of them. There's still 2 more to find. Really indebted to them. So let me talk a little bit about Rackspace and why Giffgaff chose Rackspace and what we've done since. So very important to me as a culture. Rackspace is innovative. The people really care. You heard from Simon a little bit, and it really resonated with me. What is it that Rackspace bring? They're in it with you. They've got skin in the game with you. Everything we do with them, they understand what we're trying to do, and they're with you. We had an incident a couple of weeks ago at weekend. They're there on the bank holiday weekend. They're there on the Saturday, Sunday. They're there helping us. Their innovation is great. The interaction they have with my team is brilliant. We're on, call them up, one-to-one relationships. Really, I don't think I can say, certainly at that point, I don't think I can say too much. It's not enough, really, about how Rackspace got us out of that problem. So, as I'm running out of time, I'm going to leave you to a couple of slides here. One around community business, and if you're thinking about doing something online in community, you need that availability. You need a story. You need something people will get behind, interest, a purpose, and you need it to work well. That's from a community perspective. Lessons learned, key, and this is why I'm here today advocating Rackspace. Choose the right partners. You can't always have a contingency for a cover for everything. Things will go wrong. Have the plans and have the partners. have it ready to go. But you can only have it ready to go if you've got the right people to go with. And that also means having the flexible solutions behind it. You've heard a lot about cloud and how that works. There are people here today who will tell you a lot more technically about the qualities of Rackspace. I can just tell you that my business probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Rackspace. So thank you, Rackspace, for that. And thank you all for listening.
Thank you.